All right, my friends. So your locked and loaded Metcon for today is an interval-based workout. You're doing 5 rounds total of 5 different movements. So it's going to be 25 minutes because you're doing 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest at each station. So 5 rounds, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, gives you 25 total minutes today. And it's a lot, looks like a fun one. So to go through the movements, your first movement is a goblet squat. So if you wind up with a kettlebell or a dumbbell, that's what you're going to use for this. If you don't have one of those things, then maybe it's a backpack filled up, moderately heavy, or a tote bag or something else, or maybe a pet or a child or something like that that you can grab in your house. And the goblet squat means you're going to hold the load at your chest, and you can do 40 seconds of squats. Sitting all the way down, standing all the way up. At the bottom, hip crease goes below the top of the knee, and then you come back to standing. Just like all of your other squats, knees push out, and then you come back to standing. Weight goes down. I've got 20 seconds to rest and transition until I move into a 40-second forearm plank. So for the plank here, I'll show a couple of angles. Elbows are under the shoulders. My head is in a neutral spot. And the forearms are kind of parallel to each other. So not in this prayer position, but parallel to each other. And our main goal on that plank is to keep the work in the abs and in the trunk and in the torso. So my hip is right between the knee and the shoulder, right? Not dropping down, not popping the hips up. 40 seconds in a plank hold, and then you get to rest 20 seconds. Third movement, reverse lunges. These are written as body weight, but if you're feeling spicy, then you can definitely add your weight. If you have 2 weights, maybe it's a lighter weight than you did for the squats. And the reverse lunge, if I show most from the side here, I start with my feet together, nice and tall, take a backward step, the toe and the knee kiss the floor, and then we come back to standing. We're alternating legs, with the front leg being the leg that does most of the work. The back leg is just kind of a kickstand, and I'm just barely getting the knee to the floor if I have that range of motion available. 40 seconds alternating legs. 20 seconds again of rest. Your fourth movement, we're coming back to your heavier weight now, and you've got 40 seconds of a suitcase deadlift, and you're going to switch at the 20-second mark here. So paying attention to some time frames. The load is next to me, and the deadlift is picking her up off the floor. Depending on your flexibility, if you've got a dumbbell, then you might not get all the way to the floor. You might be a little bit higher. One thing you can do is to let the bottom globe, the thumb side globe, rest to towards the floor, and that could be your stopping point. If you've got a kettlebell, then that's going to be a little bit higher. So 20 seconds one side, keeping the back flat and the chest out, and then 20 seconds on the other side. And then you get 20 seconds of rest, and then finally you're moving to the floor for a hollow position. 40 seconds is a bit of time to hold a hollow, so find a version of it that you can hold, ideally without having to break. So, hardest version, see if I can snake my whole self into the camera here. Legs out, arms overhead. So my shoulders are pulled off of the floor, my legs are long, my toes are pointed. 40 seconds here. This would be the easier version. My knees are tucked, my shoulders are still pulled off of the floor, and I'm kind of on this like turtle shell back. This is a little bit tougher. This is tougher still. Hardest version, arms overhead. So the longer that you get in that gymnastics hold, the more challenging it becomes. So find the right version for you that you can hold for 40 seconds. So to wrap up, 5 rounds, 40 on, 20 off, 5 different stations, squats, plank, lunges, deadlifts, and a hollow position. So if you're not taking class today, if you're not doing the 10 a.m. locked and loaded virtual class, then I recommend you either have a clock available that you can watch, so have your setting on your phone so that the countdown can keep going, or the count up can keep going and your phone doesn't shut down, or maybe download one of the apps if you haven't yet. That will give you kind of an audible cue to go at the 40-second mark and then at the 1-minute mark. Have fun with this one today, y'all.